Hello everybody! Today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and try on the Casio G-SHOCK Sport GBD-H1000. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So in this box is a Casio G-SHOCK Sport GBD-H1000. It's available in 4 colorways. This one is in grey with the color reference 8ER. It's also available in a black, black as well as red. Now let's go ahead and open up the box by, of course, sliding the box sleeve off. And I'm going to set that box sleeve on the right hand side of the frame. And moving right along, you can see that it is in this cosmic looking black and white box with some silver branding with that G-SHOCK Resist logo. And now let's flip open that box lid, or lift it up, and I'm just going to set that box lid down on the side and taking a look directly inside the box. You can see that it is in a presentation style gift or box packaging. Now let's pop the wristwatch off, or actually just lift the entire contents out, and making sure nothing is left in that box packaging or tray, and just continuing to remove the rest of the contents and just resetting that insert back inside. So they're giving you a look at the details of this G-SHOCK Sport GBD-H1000 box packaging. Okay, and now just moving right along, replacing the box cover and setting the box down on the right hand side of the frame, and moving right along, just setting and laying out the contents across the tabletop right there. So you can see that there is an inner box, and of course the watch itself, which is wrapped up. Now let's continue with this inner, what appears to be accessory box first. So opening up the box to reveal the contents inside, and right there, let's tip the contents out, ensuring that everything's been emptied. We can set that box to the side. And once again, just laying out the contents so you can see completely what's included with this Casio G-SHOCK Sport GBD-H1000 watch. Okay, so right there, the contents neatly laid out across the tabletop for this G-SHOCK wristwatch. Okay, so starting off with the papers first, there appears to be an FCC statements pamphlet or paper. So just giving you a quick look right here to the details front and back, and of course it does fold out as well. So some information there. About the FCC statement of this wristwatch. Okay, setting that down and moving right along. Did I say FCC? I beg your pardon. Yeah, it is FCC statements and IC statement as well. And moving right along, there appears to be a quick reference manual, and it is pretty chunky, but it is rather small as well. And there's some guarantee information as well, or registration information that's included within the quick reference manual. So you can see right there, just giving you a thorough look at all the contents that come with this watch. And right there, just flipping and going through some pages. Of course, not going to go through the entire quick reference manual, but just giving you some idea of all the information that's in there, and it appears that several languages are covered in this quick reference manual. So just setting that down and moving right along. There is an international warranty card in this packet as well. Okay, so those are the contents. We can now move right along after just making some adjustments here, spreading the contents so there's some balance. I'll try not to obscure anything and ensure that everything is in nice full view as best as possible. Okay, so right there, all the contents laid out across the tabletop. Okay, and then moving right along, we have a packet here with a cable. So of course, this watch can be charged via solar power or via a USB cable, which is this USB cable here. Let's open up the packet so you can see the connector type. So of course, it does have a typical USB-A or USB type A end to it on one side, right there. And then the other end of the connector, which connects to the watch to give it a full charge, which takes about 2.5 hours. So once again, giving you another look at the connectors. So the USB type A end, along with the wristwatch end connector for the Casio G-SHOCK Sport GBD-H1000. Okay, so also worth seeing the cable length actually. So just sliding off that plastic sleeve and giving you a better look, seeing that the charging distance or length of the cable will matter to some. So right there, that is the cable length. And taking a look close up once again at the watch connector end of the cable. So right there is the connector end that plugs into the watch, and of course the USB type A or USB A end that plugs into your USB power source. Okay, so right there, nice good look at the charging cable. So we're going to set that down somewhere, perhaps right there. Okay, so cable is down. We can now move on to the main event, which is the watch itself, the G-SHOCK Sport GBD-H1000 in grey. And there is a tag that comes with the watch right there with some features of this G-SHOCK. So it does have shock resistance, GPS function, heart rate measurement, smartphone link, 20 bar water resistance, and dual charging system via solar power or USB charging. And a bit of trivia for you, this is the first G-SHOCK ever to have a heart rate monitor. So it does have that integrated heart rate monitor via an optical sensor that is integrated onto the case back. Okay, so the watch is in here. Let's remove it from its packaging or bag. And right there, you can see the watch is once again protected by a layer of clear plastic, and we'll just remove that in just a second. Let's see if we can get focus right there, or maybe not, but just giving you a look at how the watch is straight out of its packaging. And you can see that gray detail with that red contrast as well. So this is quite a large watch, which measures 55 millimeters in case size and 20.4 millimeters thick. Okay, so let's of course remove the plastic wrapper. So as you can see on the case back, the wrapper does peel off. And right there, hopefully you do have a clearer view once that autofocus gets focus. So right there, you can see that crisp. So really struggling a little bit, so just bear with me once we get focus. So back of my hand and right there. So it does have a MIP LCD screen or display. And you can see that very high contrast and very legible digits and information that's being displayed on that LCD. And just giving you an overall look to this 55mm case size watch. And weight wise, it weighs 101 grams. So it is a fairly large watch. The weight is noticeable, but given its size, it's not something too surprising. Right there, giving you a look further out. So that large display really does help in terms of legibility, as you can see, with its MIP LCD. There's no struggling of trying to read what's on the screen with that very large time font as well. So once again, just giving you an all-round look at this G-SHOCK. So it does have that metal and resin bezel, and the case material is resin, of course. And taking a look on the case back, you can see that integrated optical sensor for measuring your heart rate. And the charging contacts right there as well. So giving you a much closer up look now. Just trying my best to keep it nice and stable as well. Not the easiest thing with free floating hands. But there we go. Nice good look overall, hopefully, as you can see the different aspects. So you can see that kind of sunburst radial pattern with the finishing of the stainless steel case back. And then the sides as well, so giving you a nice good look. And of course the strap is made from soft urethane, so very, very flexible right there. No problem at all. You can hear how floppy it is right there. Nice and flexible strap made from soft urethane for this 55mm case size watch with a 20.5mm thickness and 101 gram total weight. Beg your pardon, it is a 20.4mm case thickness. So 20.4mm thick, 55mm case size, and 101 gram total overall weight. And in terms of fastener, giving you a look to the keeper. Very interestingly, the keeper is in black, not grey. And right there is a very cool looking tang buckle with a very fancy looking pin. So flat with a slit in the middle. And right there, nice all-round look hopefully at this wristwatch. So it does have all kinds of sensors in it. It does have a thermometer, a magnet for compass bearings, as well as, of course, that heart rate monitor, Bluetooth as well. And of course, it does have a pressure sensor giving altimeter and barometer readings. So just once again giving you a close-up look to all the fine details of this G-SHOCK GBD-H1000 in grey or color way reference 8ER. And as you can see on the strap, there are plenty of ventilation holes right through. And of course, the ridges as well does provide a good amount of ventilation, not just with the holes, but the actual undulations or bumps on both sides of the strap. And in terms of adjustability, you can see that it does have a great amount of pinholes right across almost the entire length of the strap, and giving you a look to the strap thickness as well. So soft urethane, nice and supple. So I'm just going to set the watch down just so you have a nice clear view just for a brief moment. Right there. And to give you some idea of the size before I try it on, just resting in the palm of my hand, the 55mm case size. And right there, with my hands out of the way, hands and fingers out of the way, giving you a crisp, clear look at that ultra high contrast MIP LCD. Okay, so let's play around with the buttons. And let me just leave the tag on for now, and let's focus on the buttons. I'll remove the tag when I do a try on in just a moment. So let's see with the modes. Let's press on the mode button on the bottom left. So you can see right now appears to be in the heart rate beats per minute mode, perhaps. And of course I'm not wearing it, so it's not going to show any readings. And there's workout mode as well, so I'm just going to tap on just very quickly so you have some idea of the different modes. And you can hear that beep is quite a nice and gentle soothing beep. So okay, so I've cycled through the range of modes. And returning back to the main time display. And there is other modes as well, so let's go clockwise. From that mode button, there is a run button on the side right there, if you've not noticed. And of course, with the buttons, or press or pushes, you can see that they do have a texturized grippy pattern to them and grooves as well to minimize any slippage, so plenty of grip to them, but they are somewhat hard in terms of the firmness of the buttons, or texture anyway. And let's hit that run button, and you can see it says it's now receiving. Press to start before GPS position is completed. So anyway, just going to go through very quickly the different displays and settings there are. And moving right along, I'm pressing the button on the top left hand side and just toggling through. So you can see the different functionality and settings of this Casio GBD-H1000. Okay, so now I'm going to see if I can return to the time display by pressing on that mode button, which I've just done. So you can see there are a myriad of different modes for this watch. And right now, it seems to be running some kind of logging, but nonetheless, let's press on the top right, and of course the watch does have a super illuminator, as you can see right there, lighting up the screen, so giving you a much closer look now as best I can. Okay, and then there is a lap button as we make our way around the entire circumference in terms of the modes and buttons for this watch. So you can see that very high contrast display, once again almost looking white with a hint of silver to it. Of course, some of the data might not be showing correctly because obviously I'm not actually doing this with the watch on my wrist. So some measurements may be showing some pretty inaccurate data or none at all. So right there is the compass. So of course it does have a built-in magnet in this watch for compass bearings. And right there, so we've cycled pretty much right through the different settings of this watch. So let's see if we can toggle this. So very easily you can see the up arrow right there and the down arrow. And to confirm, probably pushing this button. So you can see it seems to be rather user-friendly and intuitive before even reading any of the instructions. And of course, this watch has a link to a web app, the G-SHOCK Move app, or via mobile as well on iOS or Android. And right now we've returned back to the time setting right there, which is the standard default display. So once again, just trying to give you a nice and thorough look at this G-SHOCK GBD-H1000. So it does have that reasonably good viewing angle in terms of the display and legibility. You can see as I move the watch around. And of course, let's hit on that super illuminator button and pressing and holding right there. See if that does anything. There we go. Nice and clear. Okay, so now, of course, let's try it on. Let's remove the tag so we can try it on properly. Okay, so that's the tag off, setting it down. And now let's try the watch on. So I do have a 17.2 centimeter circumference wrist, or 6 3/4 inch. And now I'm just going to put the watch on right here so you can see just how hefty it is on my 17.2 centimeter circumference wrist, or 6 3/4 inch. And I'm going to, of course, fasten the watch or strap it on right there, and once again giving you a look to the very long range of options in terms of the fitment. Lots of pinholes right there to optimize for the perfect fit. And the keeper, very interestingly, in that high contrast black against the watch's grey colorway. Okay, so there we go. The Casio G-SHOCK GBD-H1000 on my wrist. So giving you some various angles, of course, in terms of the fitment. So you can see the 20.4 millimeter case thickness does show against my wrist. And I'm just going to loosen the strap by just one notch or one hole. And just sliding the keeper down a bit to secure it a little bit better right there. And you can see nice and varied range in terms of the fitment for the strap or band. So nice and balanced fit, even though the watch does weigh 101 grams. It doesn't feel lopsided at all. And of course, it does help with that soft urethane and wide band as well. Okay, so now let's try the heart rate sensor. If we can get there. So of course, mode, start, stop, display, heart rate right there, and back. Okay, so let's hit that heart rate button on the top right. Beg your pardon, maybe not. That's the light button, which we already know. Let's go into mode, and there we have it. And let's hit heart rate, see if that does anything. So once again, there's the light, and we are what appears to be in the heart rate mode. And let's give it a few moments, and right there, showing BPM or beats per minute. That is my heart rate at present, as detected by the built-in optical sensor on the watch's case back. So once again, giving you perhaps hopefully a better look right there. You can see my heart rate appears to be dropping at the moment. And right there. And let's hit that illuminator button again. And now just cycling through the different modes once again with the watch strapped to my wrist. Okay, so there we have it. We've seen the different functions, of course, of this watch, but not in too much detail, just very briefly. But the interface does seem user-friendly. And of course, as I mentioned, this wristwatch does have web as well as mobile connectivity. So perhaps we could give that a quick try. So I do have a Sony Xperia XZ3 Android smartphone in the Bling's slim TPU case with the carbon fiber effect, which I've unpacked on the channel before. So let's go into the phone and launch the G-SHOCK Move app. So installing the app for the first time. Let's confirm settings and proceed for the region. Okay, so it requires a login with Casio ID, which I do not have. So there we go, some registration is required to use the app with the Casio Sport GBD-H1000. But nonetheless, there is connectivity to use the app together with your watch so that you can log and analyze your fitness data. So right there, just a quick attempt to install the app. There's more involvement regarding registration, so just skip that part and going back to the watch again, giving you a good all-round look at this grey colorway Casio G-SHOCK Sport GBD-H1000. And actually, just going to take a look at the settings once again. So with the modes, heart rate mode, and tapping on, there's the workout mode, stopwatch. Also, the watch does provide world times in over 300 cities, as well as for daily alarm modes as well. And you can see there is a notifications functionality as well to work with your mobile device. But there we go. Just a quick look overall. At the different modes. So deleting that data does take a little bit of time. As you can see, the please wait box right there. And now back to the default time and date display. And of course, the battery level indicator as well. I'm just going to activate heart rate mode again, and you can see that optical sensor on the other side lighting up, trying to perform a read of the heart rate. So that's the Casio Sport GBD-H1000. Thanks for watching and happy monitoring!